So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
I'm trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
The opinions expressed during this show are those of the individual participants and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of their associated organizations or Lifestyle Radio.
I blame it on industry. I blame it on my own hypocrisy. Miseducation and politicians. No one's willing to step up and speak.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Pace Radio Show. We are live, as we are every Wednesday at this time, right here at lifestyleradio.net. And in the front window of CannaDaze, Campbellford's counterculture shop, I'm your host, Al Graham. Tonight, to my joint host, Kim Cooper. She's joining me, and she is a guest who is a person who plays with jeans. That's right, jeans. And the cannabis kind, and not the ones that you wear. But before we find out more, it's time to have a talk with Kim. Hey, Kim, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Al. Tonight, pretty good. A little bit tired. I've got a bit of jet lag, and I'm pretty wiped out from my exciting time in D.C.
Oh, okay. Well, I just happen to have down here that I want to talk to you about that. So how'd things go? Did you get to meet a lot of advocates from across the country?
I did. It was a very exciting time, put on by one Miss Asia Moon, May Moon. Great, fabulous environment put on by the 12 high chicks out there. I got a chance to rub elbows and have great conversation with some people from across the country, as well as outside of the country. We had visitors and speakers from Australia there as well, telling us about things going on in their neck of the woods, as well as people like Dana Larson, John Vergados, McMahon, otherwise known as Opus 420, just everybody, Tracy Curley, of course, and of course Debbie and Tamara from right here at Lifestyle Radio.
Yes, they spoke as well. That's right. That's right. Good representation from Lifestyle Radio for sure. It's always good.
Yeah, great time. Great time.
Did you happen to catch any winner names on anything?
You put me on the spot, Al. You know what? I couldn't even tell you who won anything at the cup right now without my notes. I have spent 4 days sampling about 60 different kinds of cannabis and various extracts, and my mind is pretty much scrambled eggs at this point.
Still recovering so like now did you get like I know with the Karma Cup they gave them a little bit of time to test the samples. Did that happen?
Yeah, we had 2 days, so there wasn't a hell of a lot of time to do a lot of consuming.
I can remember during the Treating Yourself Expo, there would be 21 samples, and people would say, "Oh man, how can we test all these in 2 days?" And you're talking like doing 60 samples?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of samples to try. Plus, of course, I was visiting various dispensaries and the different venues while I was there and sampling many of the products that they had to offer on top of the cup samples, which was made my sampling day amounts increase exponentially.
Yes. They do add up, and it takes a lot of time.
It does. It takes a lot of wins.
Next year, if you're gonna go again, you'd have to take some help with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to absolutely take a helper.
Like I know for the Karma Cup, they were having testing parties. Come on over to my place and we'll sample this stuff. And absolutely. Well, I think you were there the day we helped out a person finish off their results.
Yes, we did. We attended the tasting party for Karma Cup while we were there, and that was rather enjoyable, all of us sitting around. That's the way that these things should be done, for sure, because there's a lot to try.
That's right. Exactly. Now, in a news article, got a news article here as well. I wanted to bring up the fact that there seems to be a lawsuit, class action lawsuit. They started over the cannabis that was sold to the patients with the pesticide in it.
Yeah, I heard that was going to be started. They're asking all patients to come together that purchased anything from these companies with the recalls, and they're doing a class action. Now, as far as anything that's gone on in the last 5 days, I wouldn't be privy to any new information.
Right.
I haven't been online or been keeping up with anything.
Well, their lawyer, these guys are out of Halifax, and they started a class action lawsuit against cannabis growth and Organogram.
Well, I'm glad that it's gone through then. I know that they were putting a call out for patients to get in touch with them. So if they have filed now, that's fantastic news.
Yeah, their lawyer, Ray Wagner, says they've had a number of complaints, and some of them are quite high, with the results of serious health concerns. Let's see. They say they got over 100 of them.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's quite a few patients. I'm surprised the number's not actually higher, too.
Yeah, and
it may get higher.
It probably is growing. It would be growing as people find out about it, for sure. And it's interesting. Or Organogram, they don't know how it got there. The lawyers don't know how it got there. Nobody seems to know how it got there.
Yeah, nobody knows how it got there, but somebody knows. I mean, there was reports, I think, put out a while back when a former employee from the company stated unequivocally that he knows for a fact they were hiding the chemical substances in the ceiling tiles when inspectors were coming to visit.
No, I'm sure he'll be asked for some more information as time goes on.
Yeah,
for sure. Now it just
nailed
says
him to the wall.
Yeah, they say the suit hasn't been filed yet, but they said it could be filed by the early as this week.
Well, I'm glad for that, and I hope more people come forward and step up with this lawsuit. Anybody that made a purchase from any one of those companies, do your due diligence and go forward and put your name on that thing, because there's no way that these people can be allowed to get away with this. They're touting the tagline that they're the only ones that can distribute safely. Obviously, that is not the case.
Yeah. This sort of flies right in the face of everything we've been told from authority figures on, where can't trust the stuff on the street.
Yeah, well, you can't trust the stuff from the LPs either. So there you go.
Yeah, and I touch on that in the Grassroots Advocate in the editorial about who can you trust now.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of which, I got my package today.
Oh, did you? Oh, good. Yeah, I sent out a bunch of them the other day. It's about $100 a month in mail costs just alone. So, all right. Let's see. Talk about stuff. We got some free stuff that we give away. Go to pace-online.ca. Send us a message. Let us know that you want some free stuff, and we'll do that. We'll mail you away DVDs, magazines, why not posters. Pins, could be jars. You just never know.
Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, we got a bunch of free stuff here from Treating Yourself that we're still giving away, and we'll be a while at it. I can tell you that.
Well, it's an awesome opportunity for somebody to own a piece of history.
That's right. Okay, well, Kim, last thing here before we bring in our guests. Kim, you're getting a name known for bringing guests on with tongue twister names. And it doesn't stop tonight, so it's good. It's all good. Put that speech therapy to test. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our guest, the guy who I described as someone who likes to play with jeans, and that's the cannabis kind of jeans. I'd like to welcome Sasha Przytyk. I'm going to get that wrong, Sasha. Sorry. To the Pace Radio Show. Sasha, you want to say your last name properly?
You said it pretty well, actually. Sasha Przytyk. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm getting better.
I'm getting better. All right, good. It's hey, it happens. It happens. We're happy to have a guest, and it doesn't matter what their name is. We'll get it out. So. All right. Well, the way we do things here, Sasha, when we get going, you're Kim's guest, and it usually let Kim lead off with the questions and get things rolling. But thank you for coming on the program. I'd like to welcome you here. So,
well, thanks a lot, Al.
Oh, yes. So, okay, Kim, I'm going to throw the torch over to you, or the joint.
The joint over to me. Thanks so much, Al, and I look forward to you jumping in as usual, as you always do. Welcome to the show, Sasha. I'm so glad I finally got a chance to get you nailed down. I've been hounding you for, it's got to be about a year now to come on the show with me because I was so impressed by you when I met you, I think 2 years ago at Champ's Normal Conference in Toronto.
Yeah, well, congratulations for being so persistent. I'm glad to finally be here. It was a bit hard to nail me down there, but I'm glad we got this chance to.
Well, I'm glad I did finally nail you down, and I'm glad I was persistent in it. I'm glad to have you on the show. For people that aren't aware of who Sasha is a seed geneticist and is the developer of lowrider autoflower seeds. The wonderful, wonderful lowrider seeds that we are now able to grow on windowsills and balconies across the country in our wonderful summer months here in Canada and across the world. Fabulous addition to the cannabis strains that are out there with lowrider. Congratulations with such success with the great genetics there, Sasha.
Well, thank you. It's definitely a privilege to have my genetics take a life of their own, and I could have never predicted that they would end up. It would be such a success. The genetics have been very successful, and I've kind of been along for the ride.
Yeah, fantastic. I mean, and the story behind the development of lowrider, I think, is so cute, and I just love it. And I'm going to get you to tell me a little bit about that story so our listeners can get an idea of who you are. I'll start it off by saying you started all of this off in college by growing plants in your college dorm and in the fields across the street. And it was during a trip to Europe that you had the idea of developing a strain for lowrider so people could grow in their window boxes. You want to tell us that story, Sasha, on how that came to be?
Yeah, well, it actually really starts. I have to mention that my dad used to grow back in the day. When I was growing up in my teens, I didn't actually smoke or use cannabis yet, and so I got to know the plant a little bit at that point. And unfortunately, my dad went to prison for that, and so I was at an early age. I was like, affected by prohibition. My family was affected, and so I was striving to find out. I was striving to find a way to make sort of a living at this without the associated dangers. And I was actually studying hemp. I went to Poland, I went to Eastern Europe, and I did a internship on industrial hemp. And I've been playing around with seeds and genetics since I was maybe 17, 18. A lot of my friends here in the Eastern Townships started growing, and we trade genetics, and a lot of us were playing around. But basically what I was looking for, and what a lot of my friends were looking for at the time, were really just compact varieties that were easy to grow in a small space, that can be, grown both in the winter and the summer. And when I went to Poland, I met some people that had never consumed cannabis, and they were very interested in the plant, and they had sort of an innocence about them. And this one friend of the family made the suggestion that, wouldn't it be nice if we had a variety of cannabis that we could just grow on the windowsills or window boxes? Because in Poland, people are big on the window boxes and little backyard gardens. And
well, space is an issue.
Exactly.
Space is an issue there, right?
Especially in Europe, apartments are very small there in Poland, right? And like a lot of countries in Europe. Yet they have a very good environment for growing. Like the urban environment is balcony can be a very nice microclimate. And so basically I played around with a few genes, and I ended up getting. We didn't really know what we had at the beginning, but it all started out with Mexican ruderalis, which was given to me by a friend named Antonio. Unfortunately, has passed away. But this was a variety that flowered very earlier than everything else. And so it's like in the middle of the summer, nobody else had anything to smoke, and Antonio was harvesting his first plants. They were small, they weren't very potent, but it was very nice tasting, and you're happy to have something. And so we weren't talking about auto flowering yet at that point. We were talking about ruderalis. Basically, we knew that there was this mythical strain, the third sort of species of cannabis, ruderalis, that basically everyone was saying was useless for medicine. The only people who were playing around with it were Sensi seeds. They made some ruderalis crosses, ruderalis skunk. And also out in BC, there was a variety out there called Mighty Might.
Yeah. Know of it, actually. Just so you know, there was a guy here in the store the other day looking for that.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, I haven't seen that around for a long time. Yeah. And so the concept of auto flowering, like nobody had developed a full 100% auto flowering variety. And the thing I crossed it with a few of my strains and grew those out. The first generation, they didn't turn out auto flowering, or they weren't small plants. It was just regular plants, because the auto flowering gene is basically it's recessive, right?
Yeah.
So it turned out very nice resistant plants that flowered early, but it wasn't until the second generation all of a sudden we got these little male plants. They germinated, and right after they made the first set of true leaves, they went straight to flowering. And it was like, wow, this is strange. But I always liked weird and different things, and so I was like, wow. My buddy Dave Strain was like, let's keep those. And
sure.
So we ended up breeding those. The next generation ended up like 100% auto flowers, and we just we treated them like miniature bonsais at the time. Like, we didn't really know how to get the most out of them. We had kind of understood that we were onto something, and then we were sharing. It was a period where there was like overgrow.com. It's where people were sharing genetics, and I sort of got my start on there. A lot of people were skeptical at first, and I showed them the pictures, and eventually it into this like worldwide phenomenon of home breeders who are trading seeds, and because auto flowers were not really meant for commercial growers. But,
yeah, it's more for the home grower, right? That wants a quick crop.
Right. They're easy to grow. You don't have to have multiple roots, multiple setups. You don't even have to have a timer, really. It's very easy in your garden, and with very little skill, you can get good results. And so it just fit in some new niches, and this was a boon to seed sellers in general, because the people that generally walk into a seed store, buy seeds, a lot of them are newbies, and they're looking for something easy, right? The people who are growing crops or who are, commercial croppers, they don't necessarily walk into a seed store. They already have their genetics and everything. So auto flower kind of opened up a whole new market of shop sellers in Europe, especially. It's like an introductory thing,
Yeah.
It's great. It's, 10 years later, now auto flowering has taken over in Europe.
Really, wow.
Every category, and people are actually sick, like auto flowering and regular seeds now. It's like two categories. It used to be sativa indica. Well, it's changing. I mean, it hasn't.
Yeah.
Things changed slower here, but.
Yeah. Well, now it's sativa, indica, and autoflower, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
I find that paradigm has, it has its uses, but it's not perfect. Like, it's all one piece, if you ask me. And it's actually more complicated than just ruralized indica sativa. It's an arbitrary system that we've adopted, and it has its use, but it's not an absolute truth.
Right.
It's not like you can just throw a ruderalis plant and a regular plant and get them to produce seeds, and you got instant autoflowers.
Well, no, it doesn't work like that. I mean, it would be the first generation. If you cross a regular plant with autoflower, you're going to get a plant that acts like a regular plant, because the autoflowering gene is dormant. Now, if you cross that generation, then you should get 25% autoflowering seeds. The ones that have seeds, autoflowering genes on both sides,
yeah,
they will be fully autoflowering. Then you just you narrow it down to only the autoflowering ones. But then you haven't really done anything yet. You haven't selected for strength or taste. You just made it autoflowering.
Right.
Yeah, there's many generations of work to do, but actually, as a breeder, autoflowering plants are quicker to breed because their life cycle is so short. I mean, from seed to harvest, it's usually about 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Actually growing seed. Yeah, if you're pollinating your plants, it takes a little longer than that. It takes, 10 or 12 weeks. Of course, now you have. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I haven't grown any autoflowers, so I look at them from my understanding. It's a little bit different than growing. Like a lot of people look at 12-12, for bloom, but with the autoflowers, they just go in on regular hours of light, right?
Yeah, light is irrelevant.
So would it be
right? They just go on their age? They flower based on their age, more or less, right?
Right. Just a minute. I got a customer in the store here, and Wayne just slipped out for a minute. He'll be right back. He's just gone to grab some dinner. There you go. Okay, I'm back. It happens, right?
Live on the air. We're taking care of customers at CannaDaze.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Now, when it comes to these, autoflowers, you can't clone off them, right?
Yeah, that's the biggest downfall of autos. That's number one, the downfall of autos. That's the reason why they're not adopted by commercial growers. I mean, who are looking for uniformity from one crop to another. Like, you want the same product, you want people to guarantee the same qualities. With autos, you got to start from seed every time.
Yeah.
Now, there are people who apparently can clone autos, maybe through tissue culture and hormones, but I still haven't been able to do that. So the thing is, the more generations and the better breeder you are, the better work you do, the better strain you're going to have. Like, eventually, you can have a stable strain, but that's the challenge. Like, because even my seeds, I mean, you're going to get differences from one plant to another.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people like that. A lot of people don't mind having a little variety. But when it comes to growing medicine, obviously, variation is a problem. So,
yeah, you want consistency. That was what my family doctor said to me. He says, well, if I get you a pharmaceutical pill, I can count on it being, each pill is the same. But he said, you can't guarantee that with your cannabis plants.
Yeah, that's a big thing for a lot of people medicinally. Once they find a particular strain that works, holding on to that particular strain gets problematic because one pack of seeds to the next, even though it's marked the same, it's not going to be the same medicine.
Right. Yeah, and I'm the same. I grow non-auto flowering plants as well. I have my favorite clones that I try to keep, and that perform well year to year. And
Yeah.
that's more useful to me because I'm also a medical designated producer, so I'd like to have that uniformity. But there's no like I try to juggle both, do a little both.
Yeah. Well, there's the medicinal side, but there's also the pleasure side of it. Cannabis is a paradox plant for the medical industry because of that reason. It's great medicinal value and can help us with so much. But at the same time, it's the first time we've had a product like that can also be used recreationally. And, I think that's where stuff like, the different varieties and different flavors and all that kind of stuff comes into play. We want both we've got the best of both worlds. We can find something that is great for our condition, but also have a chance to sample varieties that we just enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Growing people who can grow themselves, you get a certain satisfaction. It's actually can be very therapeutic for a lot of people that I know to grow their own plants. And if anything,
absolutely, gardening is good for the soul. Yeah, gardening is good for the soul, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Food, your own medicine, and knowing where it comes from. Today's day and age, people just don't know where their food comes from, don't know where their medicine comes from, and they're afraid.
Scary. Well, it's scary. We should be afraid.
Well, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, even with places that you should be trusting, you still could have problems.
That's right. The legal producers are supposed to be the ones that all of the patients are the only ones that we can trust. And, obviously that's not the case.
Yeah.
It's good to remind people that there is still a mechanism now that's in place and will stay in place for people to grow their own or to designate a grower to do it for them. Yeah. And the forms may not be that easy to find anymore. I don't know if you've looked at, actually hard to find those forms on Health Canada's site, but
I've heard that they're burying some of the stuff, that is, they're no longer at links that they used to be. Things have gotten changed around a little bit, and it's up to 3 months now for them getting back to people.
Oh.
Yeah, they're archived it, and the only way you can get the forms is by emailing them, and you have to email them. You have to be very specific, and they only send you what you ask for, nothing else.
So I better keep this. So this set that I've got here that I use for photocopying, I better keep them.
You better hold on to that, Al.
Better hold on to them. Yeah. I didn't know that. I've got their link on my website there. So I'll just remember to check it every once in a while and make sure that they're still working.
Yeah, they had one there for the sample document just to write the prescription as well, and that's gone now. It can no longer be found. I've got it downloaded though. So.
Oh. Yeah, right. I noticed that. Yeah, they want, because I guess it takes away from LPs. They want you to deal directly with LPs, right? And just to make the phone call, and they take care of everything over on the LP side. I don't know how it actually works, but
yeah.
Well, because when the patient applies, they get an opportunity to purchase some cannabis starting material, depending on where they go, right?
Yeah. You, I know from the last person that I got signed up, the doctor had the forms at the clinic already on his computer, and he sent them directly to the LP from the office. Yeah,
they can do that.
Okay, yeah, right.
Yeah.
The document is just like a sample document, but it's handy to show your doc. You can just change the title on it.
Well, it says sample, but when you look underneath the wording underneath the sample, it's in the paragraph there. It tells you that you can use this document.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it does. It says that right on there.
Yeah, this one can be used for a doctor's prescription. Yeah.
Correct. Exactly. So it's yeah. Well, I don't know why they put sample on this either, because the old MMAR program, you had to use the document that was within the paperwork. Whereas this, with the new program, you don't have to. It just has to include the information that they're requiring.
Yeah.
So that's why they have the word sample on there, but still it does. It throws people off, and I know that I've been told by patients that the doctors have questioned the form, whether it's legit or not, because it says sample.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So, all right.
But there's going to be lots of twists and turns on this road, I'm sure.
It sure will be.
It's far from straight yet.
All right. Well, talking about twists and turns, I'm sure we'll find out more about what's been going on here with these lowrider strains and that after we come back from our break.
Yeah, pay some bills.
And as you know, we like to play some Canadian cannabis bands. Tonight's no different. Being our guest, you're in Quebec, right, Sasha?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have a band out of Quebec that's going to play a little bit of music before we go to our commercials, and that's Grim Skunk. And you're going to hear this. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there he goes. He knows the name of the band. And we're going to play the song Sensi. And in return, Kim and I will continue our talk here with our guest, Sasha. And this is the Pace Radio Show here on LifestyleRadio.net. See you in a minute.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. Add strains and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
The following is a public service announcement from the Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society. The Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners Society is a non-profit organization dedicated to ensuring improved access to therapeutic cannabis and cannabis byproducts in Canada. With a federal government that has committed to legalizing cannabis, we feel it is our duty to ensure that the medicinal use of cannabis doesn't get lost in the process and that there are clear distinctions made between the medicinal and recreational use of cannabis. It is our mission to ensure that government regulation doesn't get in the way of a sick, disabled, or terminally ill person's right to use or produce this amazing natural health product. If you would like to get involved, you can contact us on the internet, www.canadiantherapeuticCannabisPartners.com, on Facebook, CTCP Society, or search Canadian Therapeutic Cannabis Partners.
CTCP now operates a medicinal cannabis signing clinic. If you want to grow your own medicinal cannabis and are located anywhere in Canada, then I'd like to suggest that you give them a call. They can be reached at 1-613-967-9888. That's 1-613-967-9888, and grow on with CTCP.
Man, have you been to CannaDaze yet? CannaDaze, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck, Crop King, and wholesaler Nexus. CannaDaze. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? CannaDaze can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. CannaDaze. Have your say without saying a word. CannaDaze.ca.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
That's the way, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the way. That's the way.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show. We are live here at lifestyleradio.net. Plus, we can also find us live at Spreaker, Shoutcast, TuneIn Radio. We're live there as well, so you can catch us there. Well, many of you already know this. Not everybody does, so I always like to remind everybody that at lifestyleradio.net, it's the home of the 420 Radio Show. You can tune into the 420 Radio Show and its host, Al Rapp, and its joint host, Marcel Gignac, Ross Middleton, Chris Backer with his 420 News, plus their guests. It's every Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, cannabis, coffee and cannabis with Tamarawana. That's Wednesday mornings at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. That's where Tamara comes out of. And tonight on the Pace Radio Show, I'm joined by our guest, Sasha Przytyk, plus my hard-working joint host, Kim Cooper. Kim, you here to rescue me?
I'm here to rescue you. You had it right almost the first time. Przytyk. You're putting that extra E in there, darling.
Sasha's going to kill me.
It's all good. It's all good.
It's all the trial run, pre-show runs. It all works great, eh? All right. Before the break, we were talking about auto flowers. We're get a little bit of talk on some lowrider, and I wouldn't mind talking a little bit more about lowrider, especially, one of the recommendations from the task force was cannabis plants to be under 100 centimeters.
Yeah.
And lowrider, how big do we grow this lowrider, Sasha?
Yeah, well, basically it's a 2-foot plant, so we're talking about 60 centimeters. Now, of course, there's bigger autoflowers. There's new strains that are bigger and take a little longer, and there's actually a new group of plants called super autos, which can take anywhere up to 110 days. But that's a whole other story. It's lowrider was the first 100% autoflowering variety, or at least it was recognized as the first autoflowering variety to be commercialized as such, and that's kind of where it started.
Yeah, I'm looking at the chart here that you've got online, and it's lowrider is the height is 30 to 50 centimeters, yield is 15 to 30 grams, days to harvest is about 60. That's wild.
Yeah, and when we say 60 days, that's from actually putting the seed to germinate to the day you're harvesting, and actually there's it can it can take less than 8 weeks. You can actually have a crop in 7 weeks. You can grow autoflower under 24 hours of light, literally. And that can actually accelerate their growth further. So it's pretty wild. It's like a radish, you know.
Wild. So now I got to ask a question here about this 24-hour light. Now, is that something that's been bred in? Because if you grow a regular cannabis plant under 24-hour light, without nighttime, it doesn't have photosynthesis, so it's not going to create any sugar. Won't it be like dry? Don't you need the nighttime to create the sugar?
Sasha?
Oh, we lost Sasha.
Well,
okay, sorry, I lost you there for a second.
There he is. He's back.
He's back.
Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what happened.
No problem.
Sorry, tell me the question again.
Don't you need nighttime to create the nice sugars and the THC in a cannabis plant? Or is that something that has been bred in with the autoflowers?
That's the main thing that makes autoflowers different. Basically, it's a gene that comes from ruderalis, which is kind of known as a type of cannabis that grows in northern climates. Like it comes from Russia or from Siberia, and it basically goes straight from seedling stage to flowering stage. It doesn't have a vegetative stage, so it just you can grow it under 24 hours of light. It does not need night.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's why you can grow seedlings and flowering plants in the same room. You can, have a continuous harvest thing going on where you can plant you can seed a plant every week and harvest a plant every week, just under one light, under 24 hours. So no timer, no cloning setup or flowering room necessary.
Wild. Well, I knew they went automatically into flower, but I was always under the impression that they still required some nighttime to create the sugar in them. I didn't know that that whole nighttime could be eliminated altogether.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's kind of hard to unlearn what we've learned, like about cannabis. It just doesn't act the same way. It's kind of in other types of plants. They call it that there's there's different names for these type of plants, whether it's dwarf or bonsai or determinate. There's parallels with other types of plants like tomatoes. There's some tomatoes that are developed to just produce continuously, or just after a certain amount of days, everything's ready. So it just opens up a little bit of and the reason nobody played around with ruderalis genes for the most part is because it was considered bunkweed.
Okay, so they were afraid it was going to take away from the THC content.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
In nature, it's a low THC plant, and it was a bad word back in a few years ago, before we were talking about CBD. Wild plants, ditchweed. This was a bad word, and ruderalis was a bad word as well.
Right. Well, I know people tried to breed out the the CBD content in plants to increase the THC over the years throughout the 80s, and now we're breeding it back in.
Yeah, that's it. It was this wild dash to breed THC, and that was the 80s for you. I mean, that was the main goal, everyone's goal, and actually hardly anyone was paying attention to CBD or anything else. And, CBD was another, big sort of discovery, and autoflowering is kind of in that category of things that really is revolutionary in the way I gotta say it.
Yeah, some people I know jumped all over it. Some people looked at it as yield is a concern and stuff like that. So when you put them under this 24-hour light versus the 12-12, does it increase the yield of the plant?
It does. It does increase the yield, increases the size, increases the yield.
Yeah.
The exact relation between that is still unknown. I mean, it would be. I actually prefer to give them 18 hours, just because pretty much everything likes to be grown under 18 hours.
18 hours, yeah.
I can grow. I can keep my traditional varieties in veg at 18 hours, and I can also have auto flowering plants, and give them a bit of night, and save a little bit on power, right?
Yeah.
But right now I have everything on 24 hours because I know it's silly, but it keeps everything at a steady temperature, and my greenhouse gets temperature extremes this time of year.
Well, then too, also your equipment too needs a bit of a break.
Exactly.
Yeah. No. There's, if you can get a good yield out of 18.6, it'll allow you to bloom off your autoflowers and have veg plants of non-hour flowers in the same room.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And temperature fluctuations at this time of the year. Sasha, we're in Canada. How we all feel you there.
Yeah. And when you're talking about power rates, us here in Ontario know all about that.
Oh my God, yeah.
Oh yeah, you guys' power the rates went up severely, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're paying for it. There's no doubt about that.
It's definitely a consideration. Yeah.
Yeah. And obviously they would benefit from the different sizes of lighting, the 1,000 watts versus 600s, and so on and so forth.
Right. It's the same.
Similar.
The same as growing regular
weed.
But
just being that there are some differences.
Spacing. Sorry.
Being that there are some differences in the plant versus regular ones at that. Well, is there any differences when it comes to the equipment or the way that you do things?
No, I mean, it's basically similar to growing a sea of green because you're dealing with relatively small plants.
Right.
And you're trying to get the maximum out of your space. Also, but with auto flowering, it's really noticeable. You use smaller pots, you're going to get smaller plants. Like the window of opportunity for you to grow that plant is really short. And so whatever you do to slow or to stunt that plant during that time is going to affect the outcome.
Yeah.
So
right. So I noticed on your site it also says that you don't recommend changing pots. Start off with the large one. Don't start off with the small one. Just put it right from seed into the big pot and let it do its thing from beginning to end without moving.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen generally the best results when it's direct seeded, and that can be the same in the garden as well. But to tell you the truth, I don't even practice what I preach here because I find there's a lot of uses to transplanting. Like I don't want to. First of all, not all your seeds are going to germinate, so it's like kind of wasteful to start. You fill out your 100 pot, but you're only going to get 80 seedlings. So I do start them small. The key is not to let them get root bound. And as long as they have nutrients available, and you don't let them get root bound, you can transplant them. Typically, I just start them in 4-inch pots, and after 2 weeks after emergence, I transplant them. They're root bound enough where that root ball will hold its shape, and then you don't dilly-dally. You just transplant them really gently into a big pot, and after that, you're good to go. So if you let it get root bound, the roots are really working too hard.
Right.
To slow, your vertical growth. There's other things you can do to either have bigger plants or shorter plants. A few different tricks. You want to keep them short, and this goes for pretty much any plant. Have cold nights, have colder nights. Colder temperatures in your room or whatever at night.
And that'll stunt the growth.
Well, that'll just keep them shorter, more stout, right?
Yeah.
Right. Because the cold will slow things down for sure.
Yeah. The same with sodiums. Sodium, generally you get stockier plants. If you're using more like blue light, you will get a taller, more stretch, right? But that kind of goes for, I think, for most types of plants.
Right. So, I mean, when you're growing an autoflower or a lowrider, you're basically sticking to all the same stuff as you would use in a regular grow. The difference is it's going to go into autoflower no matter what the lighting is, and you're not going to be making clones, and it's easier to grow.
Yeah, and also there's less room for error. I mean, the life cycle of the plant is so short; it's 2 months, and so there's very little besides the letting it get root bound. It's hard to fuck up. It's actually called like, and I don't like to use this, but we call it like pot for dummies, right?
Yeah.
But, no, go ahead.
Yeah, we get here at the store. We get people who are looking for, they I don't want something that's too big. Like my neighbor's going to see it. You got anything that's really short?
Right.
Lowrider.
Yeah, the lowriders come in handy. You mention them. Hey, put it beside your hedge or your little pine tree or whatever you got growing in your yard.
Yeah, I should say though that like we're kind of using lowrider as a generic term now for autos, but the original lowrider isn't. It's no longer available. It was like the plant that really put me on the map was actually lowrider number 2.
Yeah.
Which was the second generation of lowriders that I'd crossed with the Santa Maria, which was like a real popular clone in Europe at the time. And to just increase the, desirability and the THC level of the lowrider. So lowrider number 2 actually at one point was like up at the top, like top 5 most popular strains in Europe in 2007. It was wild. And from then on, I released different hybrids like Diesel Rider, Chronic Rider,
Purple Rider, Betty Boo.
Yeah, Betty Boo along the same line.
Yeah.
So is this stuff that you just sort of self-learned?
Well, yeah, mostly. I guess the thing is, I grew up on a farm, like so. I was playing with different, alternative crops. Because we were kind of hippies. We had dairy goats. We were growing purple potatoes that my dad brought back from Peru, which we actually got busted for by the potato police.
The potato
police? No way!
Really?
And potato seeds, like, to get to, it's kind of like actually a lot of parallels with the cannabis breeding industry. Like, I have this, basically I have this kind of a success story here with lowrider worldwide. It's just taken a life of its own, auto-flowering seeds and everything. Yet, I'm not recognized as a breeder. I can, as far as Health Canada goes, there's no way for me to break into that sort of world of LPs and legal, legitimate varieties, because there's too much red tape. We've got to go over buy our seed from some European institute or from an LP who got it from a guy like me in the first place.
That's right. That's where all the original genetics came from.
It drives me nuts. So that's why, like, not really very present in Canada. A lot of people don't know who the joint doctor is or whatever. Actually, I'm kind of comfortable that way, anyways, because it's kept me safe all these years. Like, I wasn't out in the open about what I was doing for a long time. It was, before I had my medical permit, it was like, the joint doctor was just sort of my pen name, and I didn't put myself out there, I didn't put my face out there, but
yes, you were very low key and very quiet over the years, and very hard to get a hold of and pin down. I'm glad I finally did, and I'm glad you're finally talking, because people need to know who you are and what you've done. I mean, the milestones that you've accomplished for all of us are tremendous, and you deserve the recognition.
Well, thanks, Kim.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
I know we get asked for autumn flowers here. Some people try to get multiple harvests off throughout the summer.
Right, that's one of the things you can do. Sure.
So that works out handy. What are you guys jointing yet? Oh.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, I've been an admirer of yours and your work for quite a long time. I try and get to events where I know that you're going to be speaking and talking, and try and keep up on things that are going on. But yeah, you're very private, and sometimes the information's hard to come by, Sasha.
Yeah, you bet. I work hard for that privacy. You know, it's not really an accident that I'm hard to get a hold of. It's actually, I used to, I find that I had to draw a line there, and I used to spend so much time online on forums and answering questions, and there really is no limit to that. And
it can take over your life easily, that's for sure.
Yeah, and it's sort of like I realized I should be concentrating on what I'm good at, or what's, where I've had my successes, instead of fucking around. So it's just yeah.
But yeah, your contributions are tremendous over the years. I mean, where would we all be right now without some of the things that you've come up with? And like you say, people don't even know who you are.
Yeah, but I'm comfortable with that, because I'm comfortable with a certain amount of anonymity. It's not really about me. It's about I think when people say I invented autoflowering, I basically came up with, solidified the concept, and was successful at, putting it out there. But obviously, like, whatever, it had a life before me, and it will have a life after me. So that's the way I look at it. I may not be, I may not be rich. I may sort of be arguably the most ripped off breeder in history, but I'm not bitter. I'm not sort of bitter about that. I'm happy at seeing the life that these genes take. I mean, it's amazing. And people who know about breeding, who done some research, that see that they know who I am. It's nice to have that recognition. I get to meet a lot of super interesting people.
Yeah. Well, I've always enjoyed hearing you speak ever since the first time I heard you at Champs Normal there back in 2015. And I heard you speaking about, the days of growing with your dad and then his arrest and that. And I thought, oh my God, I mean, the things that you went through when you were younger, and it led to such an inspirational moment for you with the creation of all these genetics.
Yeah, no, it's been a blessed life for sure. I mean, and my father, he's still, he's still my best. I ask for he's still around. He gives me advice. He's still a big influence, and he's there in the background, as are a lot of people who've helped me along the way. And I got to mention my buddy David Strange, who's one of the best weed photographers out there. And because part of the success in getting this plant out there is the story. We were writing together at Heads magazine.
Yeah.
Years ago, and that gave us kind of a platform. And Dave was instrumental in getting it out there, taking those high quality, high res pictures that really, without that, like that's the you need that to get to sell speed. You need a story, you need a description, you need photos, and we used to have a seed bank called originalseeds.com, which unfortunately doesn't were my first distributors.
Hello, I'm back.
Yeah, we lost Al for a second, and he's just rejoined us.
Yes. Don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, there was music blaring out.
It wasn't me.
Well, we got it straightened around.
Yeah, well, we've been carrying on without you. I knew you were having some technical problems, and we just we carried on the convo.
Good. Were you hearing the music?
No, that was only you.
Just me. Okay, good. All right. Well, I'm glad you carried on without me. So, well, it's break time, so I get to take a break and figure out what happened.
Okay.
All right, so we're going to listen to some more of Sensi by Grimskunk, and then we return and we'll continue our discussion with Sasha Przytyk. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show here at LifestyleRadio.net. You're listening to the Pace Radio Show here at
Please hang up and try again.
You're listening to Lifestyle Radio.
Growing your own vegetables, flowers, or even medicinal plants can be a challenge without the right equipment and proper know-how. At BMA Hydroponics, not only are they your urban horticultural experts and suppliers, but their staff holds the customer's needs paramount to making a sale. Family-owned with decades of experience and knowledge, they offer free advice in person, by phone, or email. BMA Hydroponics wants to ensure you have the advice you need, which is why you'll find tips and tricks on different ways to grow, like wick, ebb and flow, drip, or aeroponic system, as well as other helpful links at bmahydroponics.com. If you can't find what you're looking for, just let them know, and they'll do everything they can to get what you're looking for. At BMA Hydroponics, each staff member also possesses a federal exemptee MMAR license, making their strong suit empathy, experience, and dedication to their customers. Because when you know how to grow, you'll have results that make you proud. BMA Hydroponics in Belleville, Ontario. Visit bmahydroponics.com.
BMA offers cannabinoid testing, so if you want to prove you've got good medicine, head to BMA Hydroponics and prove it.
Man, have you been to CannaDaze yet? CannaDaze, Campbellford's premier cannabis culture shop at 19 Bridge Street West. They've got bongs, oil rigs, grinders, and papers. Everything you need for consumption. They've got seeds, soil, nutrients, and dome trays too. Everything you need for cultivation. Get top quality seeds from top suppliers like Canuck, Crop King, and wholesaler Nexus. CannaDaze. They've got all kinds of awesome cannabis novelties, clothing, and apparel. I know, right? It's a lot more than just a bong shop. Interested in gaining legal access? CannaDaze can help. They're a PACE information center. You know, people advocating cannabis education. Come by the shop and check it out. 19 Bridge Street West, Campbellford. CannaDaze. Have your say without saying a word. CannaDaze.ca.
Hi, this is Al Graham of the Pace Radio Show. Are you keeping pace, as in keeping people advocating cannabis education? If you're not, and you're a cannabis consumer, then why not? Others are working hard every day to help educate people about cannabis so you can enjoy your daily 420. Get involved and speak out. Be loud and proud so that you can keep pace. Tune into the Pace Radio Show every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to hear about people advocating cannabis education here on LifestyleRadio.ca.
Canada, the time to act is now. These days, your customers are seeking variety. Increase your earning potential by expanding your inventory with CC Nexus, Canada's largest cannabis seed wholesaler. CC Nexus stocks over 60 reputable breeders, including Canuck seeds, with a wealth of autoflower, regular, feminized, and CBD strains. All first-time customers will receive a free pack of Canuck seeds, plus a mug, t-shirt, and additional promotional materials. add strains, and increase your profit with CC Nexus, your Canadian-owned and operated wholesaler of cannabis seeds. Discreet, worldwide stealth shipping from Canada, supporting you locally. Call today, 1-844-843-7995, 1-844-843-7995, or visit us at ccnexus.global.
Hey, we're back, and thanks for tuning in to the Pace Radio Show. As I always say, we're being broadcasted at lifestyleradio.net. You can also catch us live at Spreaker, but podcasts. You can catch our podcasts at Mixcloud, iHeartRadio if you're in the U.S., YouTube, iTunes is now carrying us, as well as other social media. As you know, we like to highlight Canadian cannabis bands here, as I mentioned that earlier. Tonight was a Quebec-based band known as Grimskunk and their song Sensi. Many years ago, Grimskunk led the Quebec end of the punk rock scene and is one of the bands. One of their band's members became very active in the cannabis community, and you can find their songs on YouTube or by doing a search in your search engine. Today on the show, we got our Kim Cooper, our joint host. She's up in the north, and we have Sasha Przytyk, who's a man in behind the lowrider and Seed Genetics. So,
yes, the developer of Auto Flower.
Yes.
Thank goodness for Sasha.
Yes, there's many people that I know that enjoy those. So, all right, Kim, we're into the last segment. We got about 20 minutes here left for Sasha, and I'm sure you got some more questions for him.
I do. Sasha, you've done so much for genetics and for all of us in the growing world, and so many novice growers now are able to enjoy cannabis and cannabis farming and growing thanks to you. But you also do a lot of other stuff. Quite the entrepreneur. You're also into a bit of music, aren't you?
Yeah, actually, well, a little bit. First of all, my wife and I do play some music together, and we put out a CD a couple years ago. But I play around with music. I'm not. It is one of my hobbies. It's funny you mentioned it though, because the Joint Doctor was originally my name as a DJ. Kind of was back in the day. I used to spin reggae, and I still do on occasion.
Yeah.
I using the Joint Doctor as my my pen name, and that kind of stuck. And now Joint Doctor has become my identity as a breeder. Because if you mentioned my name, Sasha, I mean I'm not really well known, but the Joint Doctor has a kind of a online presence and
life of its own.
That's right.
If you look up auto flowering on Wikipedia, they talk about the Joint Doctor. They're nice enough not to mention my name, but yeah, there was a connection there.
Right on. So you started off with Joint Doctor as a DJ, you dabbled in some music, and you're also part of some festivals and stuff that go around in Montreal, right?
Yeah, well, out here we're about 100 miles east of Montreal in the eastern townships, near Sherbrooke, and out on the my parents' family farm. We have a music festival that now been going on for 11 years called Shazam Fest. It's actually a lot more than a music festival. It's a 3-day extravaganza of music, burlesque, wrestling, skateboarding, and a variety of other eclectic activities. And the location is just amazing. It's like this natural amphitheater surrounded by woods and by the Niger River. And it's so 11 years we've been. My brother's kind of created this festival, and it's taken off. It's still a mom and pop kind of small festival, and we like it that way. It's about 2,000 people. So definitely invite anyone who's interested to look it up on shazamfest.com or shazamfest on any media, and you can check it out. I think, Kim, you were interested you were almost made it last year.
Yeah, almost. I didn't quite make it last year, but I was just going to say this year I've designated this year my year for travel, Sasha. So you're on my list. I'm going to be definitely talking to the hubby about a trip out to visit you for Shazam Fest. I'm trying to do as many events as I can this year and touch base person to person with as many in the community as I can in 2017. So definitely going to be on my list.
Well, that would be awesome. I know how far it is for you to basically. You're so far from everybody that it's like travel is a serious, it's a serious thing. It's a big road trip.
Yeah, going anywhere is tough.
Yeah, I can just imagine.
Yeah, so I plan on doing a ton of travel this year, back and forth to Toronto and coast to coast. We're also planning a trip out to the East Coast. I also want to visit Montreal, and John Brigato's there at the Speakeasy, and Shazam Fest is now on my list as well.
Well, that would be sweet.
Well, I'm near Belleville, near the 401, and you're still probably 5 hours from me.
Yeah, like I say, I'm about an hour and a half on the other side of Montreal. Toronto's just too far. That 401 just too long, man.
Isn't it? It just goes on and on and on. Ontario just goes on and on and on. We're so large it takes 24 hours to cross the place, right?
Yeah, well, Al and I are both in the same province, and we're over 9 hours apart.
Yeah. It's like when I get messages from a friend in Spain. He's like, I'm gonna be in Canada next week. Maybe I could visit. I'm like, yeah, okay, you're in Canada. Like, where in Canada? And even Ontario's like that too. It just goes on.
Yeah, well, Ontario's the size of 3 or 4. We're the size of some small countries.
That's it. I think it's like four times the size of France or something.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I see. I'm on the Shazam Fest website. You're in July? Middle of July?
Yeah, mid-July, yeah. I think it's 13, 14, 15, 16, something like that.
Yeah, 13th to the 16th is listed here.
Yeah.
Awards.
It looks pretty off the hook, doesn't it, Al?
Yeah, firing squad. $10.
What you're looking at, that's our annual Shazami Awards, right? We put on different sort of sideshows and events throughout the year. So, March 18th, we're having our Shazami Awards, annual awards where we give out prizes like the things like most likely to survive the apocalypse or most likely to get lost in the woods, that kind of thing.
I like it.
Oh, scroll down for English. Okay, let's see what else you got here.
We gotta put French first there. For Quebec courtesy, right?
Correct. Yeah, and I see English is on the right. 20% off for those arriving on a bicycle.
Yeah, we started that a couple years ago. There are people that show up on bikes. Also, we have it might not be on there. If you show up on a tractor as well, you get a discount. But we've made it free for locals since the beginning, like the people who are in our county.
Right on. Well, that's great. Community spirit.
Yeah, they get a chance to come and check out the freaks because they don't. Otherwise, a lot of them wouldn't come. They'd just be like, They. I'm
not going to pay you to look around at you and stare at you, but I'll come and do it for free.
Is this the freaks at the Freakers Ball?
And if they like what they see, they'll drink. They'll drink the beer because we have a bar there too. So.
Right on.
Best costume contest.
Absolutely, best costume. Last year we had a beard contest. There's different categories.
Wayne's got a beard. He said, "No, we're here grooming it now."
There you go, Wayne. Shazam Fest.
We even had
Now,
a
you
category
also,
for
I
fake
see,
beers, right?
you
anybody
will
could
take
participate.
volunteers.
And it's a free for all. We just have a wicked laugh, and there's
Yeah.
plenty of good green going around. The atmosphere is really chill, even though it's like a family event. There's kids around, but it's
It's chill.
kind of kosher environment.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Nice.
Family entertainment. God, I'll love it. I mean, all of us that medicate, we have kids,
That.
Oh, cool. This is tickets. Yeah, tickets there. You buy your tickets online. Shuttle bus. You offer shuttle bus service. That goes from. What would that be, around the town or something?
There's shuttle from Montreal and possibly from Ottawa if there's enough demand. Yeah.
Wow.
Right on.
Yeah, we actually have a whole crew that comes from Ottawa, and
Very
sometimes
cool.
it's
Very
more
cool.
fun to party like away from home. You get it's just more fun that way. But yeah, we get people from all over.
Well, I might have to make this a girls' weekend and then go with my girlfriend from Ottawa. And I'll make my way there and we'll take the shuttle.
Yeah, definitely. That sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Oh,
And if you're out there listening, Shazam Fest, look it up, put it on your calendar. We're going.
Yeah, you got a lot of pictures. Okay.
Wow,
I'm just looking at your pictures on your website here.
Thousands of people. This is the year, man.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know there's a picture there of the stage, and there's somebody dressed in beach balls. And you can see the crowd.
On.
Yeah, you can see a crowd of people in behind there.
Right on. It sounds like a blast.
We have a solid burlesque component. We have a troupe of burlesque dancers from Ottawa that are regulars, and yeah, it's really wholesome family entertainment for everybody.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I can't wait.
I see you have artists. Is that that you have? I'm just sort of clicking on some stuff here. So you have music bands. Do you have artisans and stuff like that are there?
Yeah, there's live. There's actually a live painter who does scenes. We have acrobats. There's various sort of workshops that happen in the early day. We actually have a blacksmith who's making knives and different kinds of knives. He's making it live. It's kind of we've made it sort of a summer village. We built all these structures out of the pine trees that are surrounding the site. Mm-hmm. It's really open to a lot of, it's open format, and there's things that I don't even know about that just people show up, we have acrobat workshops for kids, like unicycle workshops, things like that. So it's
I found your beard and your mustache contest. $1,000. Wait.
$1,000. Yeah, we don't screw around. I mean, there's serious prizes for the skateboard competition. We actually we have the biggest outdoor skateboard ramp in Quebec, and it keeps getting bigger. Like we've just, and it's been there from the beginning. Skateboarding is a big component of Shazam, as far as I'm concerned. And there's skateboard competition. Basically, people are making cash for tricks, and it's spectacular. One of my favorite parts of it. So also skaters get a discount. They get meal tickets. We want them to come.
Mm-hmm. Now, people can you can have different artisans who come. They can rent a booth, stuff like that.
Sorry?
You can, if an artisan wanted to get a hold of you, they could rent a booth.
Oh yeah. I mean, there's tables to rent. As far as performances, this is a good time to get in touch with me. We haven't booked everything for this year, so definitely.
Yeah, well, it's probably a good time. We're getting late in the show. A good time to let people know that, and again, remind people where they can get hold of Shazam Fest and all that as well.
Yeah, that's great, man. I hope people turn on to this, and it's a good time to visit me. I'm definitely there full time. I actually run the garbage detail at Shazam.
You ever get any glass blowers there or anything like that?
We've got an ecological component. We try to try to have as little waste as possible. You wouldn't believe the amount of garbage a festival can produce if you're not careful. So
yeah. I just imagine.
My job.
Alrighty. Let's see. Well, as I mentioned, we're getting late in the show here. Did you want to give a shout out to where your website is, where people can find it?
Yeah, you bet. Thanks for reminding me. If you want to, my website is jointdoctordirect.com. That is the only place that's my website. If you can get information that comes straight from me, or if you want to get in touch with me, there's a contact form. And if you dig into the website a little bit, there's a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about tonight, the history of lowrider and auto flowering, as well as people who actually distribute my seeds, because I do not sell directly. My website is strictly for info. And check out joindoctordirect.com. And also have a look at Wikipedia on if you look up auto flowering for a little more background on that story.
Yes, that's
awesome.
Good.
And how do we find out about Shazam Fest?
Yeah, man, I'm glad to have this platform to broadcast on. This is great. And hopefully,
is there a website for Shazam?
What's that, Kim?
Is there a website for Shazam?
ShazamFest.com. Yeah, and it's on Facebook too. Just look for Shazam Fest. All one word.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, and it's in French and English. One side is French, one side is English.
Yeah, we definitely we're nonpartisan. That's another neat thing about the festival. It's bilingual, and it's English, French. Nobody's like uptight about it. So
open to all walks of life.
Exactly. Yeah, it's multi-generational as well.
Awesome.
It sounds like
not a rave.
Sounds like
we like to party, but we like to keep it I would say wholesome, because there's lots of kids actually that come to the festival. A lot of people have had kids. A lot of kids have been conceived at the festival. They're taking over, man. It's just amazing to see the parents arriving, and they start to relax, and then the kids go off on their own, and the site is such that they're well contained, and there's stuff to do, and nobody needs to wander off. So it's
good family-friendly environment where people can just relax and chill.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And there's
it just sounds like pull up a lawn chair under the shady tree and enjoy yourself. For sure.
Oh, I love it. Looking forward to it.
That is 133 days, 21 hours, and 37 minutes away.
The countdown is on.
The countdown is on. It's on his website, folks. That's how I know.
Yeah, it's the event of the year. Don't miss it.
Yes. It's I'd never heard of it, so this is cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And like I said, it's 25 hours away, and it's over a weekend, so you just never know. Maybe I'll join you, Kim.
Yeah, that'd be great.
I'll save you a spot, man.
All righty. Okay, let's see. So Sasha's done a shout out. We got that. ShazamFest.com. Joint Doctor Direct. Kim?
Yeah, I'm going to give my shout out tonight to a personal friend, known online as Miss Sinful Cindy, and partner in crime, Dana Larson. I'd like to thank them very much for their hospitality over the weekend, along with also Mr. Bert Easterbrook and his lovely lady, Talia. The four of them took such good care of me while I was in BC, and I'm very appreciative for that. Thanks very much, guys, for a great time in BC last week.
Yeah, it was nice of them to do that for you. And I saw some of the pictures of the place as well that you posted online.
Yes, Bert was great. He picked me up from the airport. He drove me back to the airport. I enjoyed some time in his home with his child. Dana and Cindy took me out for dinner. We spent the day Sunday together. It was a great time.
Good. All right, let's see, a couple of reminders. Don't forget to go to the PACE website, pace-online.ca, so that you can send us a message letting us know that you want some free stuff, and we'll do that. We get several names. We get your name goes into a hat, and the winner's name gets drawn. And actually, the last person, just so you know, Sasha, was from Quebec.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yes.
Winners. Yay.
Winners. Okay, and I'll be back next Wednesday with our new joint host, Alicia Yeshishin. I hope I got that right. And her guest, this will be Alicia's first time being joint host on the program, so make sure you tune in, see how she does. I expect that she won't have any problems whatsoever.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a fantastic show, and welcome to PACE, Alicia. Good luck.
As being a lawyer, she's working towards being a lawyer. She's going to understands asking a lot of questions, I imagine.
Yes.
All right. You can find PACE on Twitter at PACE Radio, and you can like us on Facebook as well. And we're on Instagram as PACE Radio Show. And there was a bunch of people that were liking today's announcement about Sasha being on. So that was good. Thank yous go out to our sponsors, the friendly folks at BMA Hydroponics. They're located in Belleville, Ontario. Can be found online at bmahydroponics.com. CC Nexus, Canada's cannabis seed wholesaler. They're at ccnexus.global. And I know that they carry some of Sasha's strains. I see Lowrider in there. Al Rap, Lifestyle Radio. We always got to thank the man behind the baggie. Does a terrific job getting everything done. Also, big thank you to our guest, Sasha. Thank you for coming on the program, talking to us about Lowrider and the auto strains. It was great to do that. I know myself, I haven't grown them, so it's great to get some first-hand information on how to do that.
Well,
thank you very much.
Al. It was great to be on your show. It was lots of fun. So you guys have a good night. And peace, respect, love.
Love, exactly. And I always got to thank our joint host, Kim Cooper, plus our listeners for tuning in the program. We always enjoy having them along. And thank you and good night.
Good night.
Night.
So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Nothing? Why not?
Trying to get on this Lifestyle Radio website.
Sounds like a cool website.
Yeah, it's alright. Oh, wait, I might have it.
You might have it.
You're